exciting edition of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And we have a warehouse tour up, but we kind of wanted to revamp it and give you an updated warehouse tour because a number of things have changed since then. Big changes,
yeah, always.
And the other thing too is we want to thank everybody out there that clicks on our affiliate links. You'll notice the sound on this is a lot better than most of our remotes because we've got the Rode, Rode, microphones, wireless microphones, and when you click on affiliate links, it definitely helps the channel, and we're reinvesting, and we want to make the channel better and better as time goes on.
Absolutely.
So we're standing over here in Rochester on North Clinton Avenue in front of Mr. Magazine's warehouse. Yeah. And why don't you give us a quick thing of what's going on outside?
We call it the men's cave, but as you can see, the men's cave's been growing over the last year or two. Not only do we have the warehouse, we've acquired 3 pods that are fully stocked from top to bottom, and a gigantic sea container as well. So what we're doing now is storing these for hopefully we'll get some of this stuff listed before Christmas. I highly doubt that. In one of the pods, I'm actually taking stuff and probably going to sell it in a lot on Craigslist. We're just so overwhelmed with inventory, we're trying to move some stuff to other people that can resell it as well.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go inside, and this is going to be a multi-part series. We really want to go in depth. We want to show the packing area. We want to show the front area. We want to show how we stock stuff. We want to show how we store supplies, et cetera, et cetera. How many items would you think are probably in there?
Over 1 million.
So if you want to see how over 1 million items are stored, come with us.
All right, this is our messy entrance that I do subscribe to the New York Times. I haven't had a chance to read them yet, but someday we'll get them listed on eBay.
Or someday you'll be able to read them. It'll be old news by then.
That is very true. All right, we got a bunch of Hot Wheels stored here for a later date.
So first thing we do is we come in here, and this is the front area, and I know this is where you've had listers at before and everything like that.
So yeah, we got one lister here. We got a room for my assistant manager's room is in there. And this is basically a staging and prepping area for some of the stuff we've acquired short term. It seems to pile up as well because there's a lot in here. We have actually 4 other rooms. We have a room full of photos and VHS movies. We have a room full of sports cards. We have a room full of better magazines and a room full of graded comics and board games and autographed items.
As well as, I believe that back there is a lister's room as well.
Correct, yeah, that's my assistant manager's room, yeah.
So you just, I guess, how do you decide what goes here?
Well, whoever's in here, there's certain items I want them to list. This person would be getting like better books, magazines, things of that nature, calendars, catalogs. My assistant manager does all kinds of, oddball items that require maybe more space for a table. He'll do autographed baseballs, he'll do sports cards, some larger toys and sets and things of that nature. But we got a new employee that's doing posters and things like that, so we're going to start moving things around to get another lister in here.
So you got a collection in.
Yep. And
it's got a bunch of stuff in it that you feel would be listed properly by the people up here. Because everybody, let's step back a quick little step here just to kind of help people out if you're thinking about getting an employee. You have listers that specialize in certain things or are better at certain things.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yep. I find what their niche is, what they enjoy doing, and what they're better at doing. And when things come in, then I'll load them up on, whatever. Over here we got books, a binder of autographed items, we got pennants, a lot of sports items, so we're prepping for football season. I got a bunch of footballs and mini helmets over there. So, and then, we'll get them on as soon as we can.
So if a new employee came along, you were able to find a new employee, and you were able to, we'll just say, set them up over here with the computer, and they absolutely loved comic books, and they came from the comic book world. Then when collections came in, you would filter the comics out into this room over here for them to be listing.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's step back another step here, just so you can help people out. And we've done a number of videos about how to keep inventory. So I'm the new employee.
Right.
And I'm listing this box here of magazines and miscellaneous stuff.
Right.
So I take this item over here, an auction catalog. What do I do with it? I have this item in my hands right now, and I have to list it.
If I have time, I don't give them anything like that unless I prep it or they know how to list it. So generally something like that, they probably would not know how to list it. So I'd have to write catalog and some information on there. And if I knew the weight, I would even throw the weight on because it saves them time because I already know. I want to put 25 bucks on it, so I'll put a post-it on there. 25 bucks, catalog, European catalog, 3 pounds. So it saves them time, because I think if they took it, they're not knowledgeable enough for something like that to say, you know, they're going to terapeak it, they're going to weigh it, they're going to look to see where it goes, which would take them a lot longer.
So they then take this item.
Yep.
In one manner or another, they get a picture of it,
Yep.
or multiple pictures if it needs it,
Sure.
or
At least 2 from now on. You got to have at least 2.
okay. And if you were doing prep on it, let's pretend this weren't a catalog, but it's a magazine, and you know it's got Jane Mansfield inside.
Right.
Do you put a Post-it or something like that inside so they know to take that page's picture?
No, I do not do that. I would put it on the cover and say James Mansfield, and hope, well, the person that's good at that would know to do that. So, which now it wouldn't be the person here, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they take the 3, you know, they take the cover,
The 3, yeah, exactly.
the table of
3.
contents,
Yep.
and then the picture with Jane Mansfield on it.
Right, as long as it's no nudity, sure.
Right, yep.
Yeah.
And then they list it,
Yep.
proper category and all that. And you also will have had this box over here, let's say. Say they were listing into this box.
Right.
You put your date code on the outside of the box.
Correct, and that one there has one. It's a reuse box, but there's a date code on there as well. Yeah.
So then they continue to list with that date code, and you put the date code up in the title.
For eBay, yes.
Okay, and why do you do that? Why do you put it in the title and not somewhere else?
So when we print the orders out, it comes right out there on the sheet. It's got the title with the code. There's no second page. There's no, you know, everything's right there in easy access.
So the person that's pulling orders, which we'll show in a later video how that whole process works, but the person that's pulling the orders can literally take that piece of paper and it'll say, you know, George Brett 072621 MGL8.
Right.
And then the puller can go find that box and find the item right in it without having to go online and search for where is this listed at and all that. So it streamlines everything.
Sure.
The plus side is it speeds you up.
Yep.
The negative side is it uses up a little bit of the keyword area.
Right, right. Yep.
So, but it's a trade-off that you've decided
Sure.
is well worth it for you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep. Which is great. And what do you use as far as scanners go? Because I know we've got a couple of videos up with scanners.
We
But what
definitely
are
have
you
multiples. We have small flatbeds. We have large flatbeds for newspapers and Life magazines. We have one that you can feed 25 to 40 photos or sheets in there. What else do we got? We have a slide scanner.
You also have
and
the
we have
affiliate link.
the favorite CZUR Scanner. Yeah, we use that as well, depending on for newspapers and so forth, or books, bound volumes. It all depends. So, yep. This person that lists here has them all in this area, so he can switch off whatever he needs.
That's actually a really good idea then, because if today he knows he's listing newspapers, he just turns the CZUR on.
Exactly.
If tomorrow he's listing trade cards, you can run them through the faster scanner to be able to get a lot of trade cards on,
Yep.
etc. So
Sure.
you've invested some money in it, but you've made that workstation really, really good for the employees,
Right.
so that whatever you happen to need to have him do, he's
Yeah.
got it right there. He doesn't have to walk. He doesn't have
Exactly.
to unhook anything. It's all right there set up for him.
Sure.
So
exactly.
that's absolutely wonderful on that there. Anything else you wanted to talk about in here?
You know, it's always going to be a little messy. Our goal is to kind of clear this out and clean it up. We had other employees that used to list certain things here that we're going to move, make some room, and add a lister or two. We have a prepping area over here for stuff that if I get in, I got more room to set up there for a later date. And again, you got some showcases. We used to have a little store here that is no longer. We kind of grew out of that, but other than that, you know, it's a lot of rooms, a lot of work. And if it's something is too big, larger than a banker, we put a code on it like shelf, room A, room B, room C, and then they'll get in those rooms. Like this room in here has oversized frame pictures and so forth that you can't fit on a shelf in a banker, so they'd be in that room there.
Well, and the other thing too is you don't necessarily want to use up precious shelf space with photos.
Correct, right. Yep.
Especially frame things if they're framed with glass,
Right.
because even then they would definitely have to be on a lower level.
Right.
God forbid you put it up on a higher level
Sure.
and you go pull them and they fall and you got glass all over the place and
exactly.
something's smashing an employee in the head. You definitely don't want that kind of
No,
thing either.
definitely not.
So it's just for safety purposes alone, it's worth doing that.
Sure.
So this is part one. We will be going into multiple parts. I don't even know how many at this point because there's a lot of moving parts basically.
Yeah.
Do hit the like button. Thank you to everybody. I think the volume and the sounds are much better using the Rode microphones. If you did see anything on the pan through that you happen to be interested in, do reach out to us.
Sure.
it's all for sale.
True.
We can work out a deal over here if you see something.
Yeah, you
here
can buy
and
it all,
say-
buy the whole company. Hey,
There you
for
go.
sale for the right price.
But you're going through and you say, I used to have that Target game when I was a kid. I definitely would be interested in it.
Yeah.
Reach out to us. It is for sale. We can work out a deal. Do hit the like button if you could, and tell us how you liked the video, and do watch part 2, which will be coming out sometime soon.
The shipping room, right?
It will be the shipping room,
right.
part 2. There you go. Oh, look at you with the preview.
Yeah.
Coming next week. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.